This is literally how the game starts. There is no, you don't go into a main menu or anything. So we have a cassette tape which is labelled Maria's Mix. And yes, I am old enough to know how these work, but you insert tape in player. Aha! Headphones. See, back in the day, headphones had a cable with a jack on the end, and you know, they weren't wireless and come in a little box. They look like this. Kids today won't remember these. Okay, apparently that goes in there. This game is best played with sound. You will be pleased to know that I do have sound. Press the... Oh, the other buttons do work. Okay. They have accurately modelled the cassette player. I still prefer headphones with a cable, says Expediter. Me too. To be honest, my preference is no headphones. I'm actually going to... Sorry, I'm going to turn that down very slightly. But great music. My preference is no headphones because of tinnitus, but yeah, I prefer wired ones if necessary. And also welcome in Expeditus. I hope you're having a good weekend. Let's go.
After a year on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and everything in between.
Good to see that this game has voice acting. I don't have to read everything out.
But as my train pulled into the station at Bellariva, I felt every bit as excited as the first day of my journey. A whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen, the people I'd met, of course, the forgotten treasures I'd given a new lease of life along the way. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next, fixing everything from family heirlooms to VCRs.
Back in the day when you could fix consumer electronics. People make a big deal about the right to repair, but it's sadly not something that most manufacturers will consider nowadays.
Bellariva was my chance to take a break. Unfortunately, that would have to wait until after I'd unpacked.
We'd better unpack then. There's a game about this. We appear to be playing Unpacking. Suitcase edition. Click the suitcase to pick it up. I have picked up the suitcase. And then we can rotate. I see. Harry says, I mainly have wireless buds for my phone because they're easier to deal with at work. Yeah, that makes sense for your work, Harry. Expeditor says, same here, headphones give me migraines and make me anxious because it weakens my survival instinct. That is very true, yes. People running into traffic with headphones on because they can't hear. That is definitely a thing. Back in my day, you could get the parts from Maplin, says Izzy. Yes, well, I do love trying to fix things where I can. It's just increasingly you can't, or at least it's not worth the hassle to do so. But I'm very much in favour of right to repair and stuff like that. Definitely. Aha, stuffs.
My favorite overalls. These will never go out of style.
Sure.
Who doesn't love a scrunchie? Practical and stylish.
I can confirm that I love the scrunchie, and in fact I wear them always when I am out in public because I don't wear my hair down like this when I'm out.
The tools of my trade. No hope of restoring things without these.
Sunglasses.
I picked up these sunglasses on my last stop. Hopefully I'm cool enough to pull them off.
I'm sure you are.
I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repair woman, at your service.
Interesting.
My passport. Not many blank pages left now.
What country is this supposed to be?
Looking forward to taking more close-ups of my fingers with this.
Okay, I have successfully unpacked a suitcase. I suspect the level will get slightly more difficult than that.
Finally, I'd made it to Bellariva. I'd come for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. After living off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal.
I can relate.
Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work. My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple, stationary life. I knew there was a world out there, beyond the four walls of our antique store, that I had to be a part of.
To go and repair things in other parts of the world.
I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories, revealing the memories hidden beneath the screws and wires. My story in Bellariva began with a little girl, and a voice she was longing to hear.
Okay. We have completed chapter 1. Chapter 2. Something with a tape recorder, it looks like.
It was my first morning in Bellariva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town, its streets and alleyways basking peacefully in the hot morning sun. In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway for the festival in a few days' time. As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bellariva would need me to fix. So far, everything here seemed perfect.
You need to fix the economy.
I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Izzy!
Hi, I'm Izzy.
It's you!
Do you know how to fix things?
Hello, Liari. Thank you for redeeming Common Twayblade as your flower of the day. It's good to see you. Twayblade is an orchid. Quite a rare one. I didn't know I was in the game. Yes, look, here you are, Izzy.
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers. She rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
Also, I had not touched someone on the back without consent, says Izzy. I mean, you were only 7, apparently. I mean, if this was the real Izzy, I'm sure you would be tinkering with the cassette player yourself.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore. I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing
okay,
in the way.
they did try to fix
Can
it
you try?
themselves. We shall try. Okay, we have an tape player. Well, here's your first problem, is your tapes come out. You need to get the pencil and stick it in the holes and... Can I do that? Please tell me I can do the thing where you do the thing to get the tape back in. We've probably got to fix this first. Also, it's got no batteries in. Like, that's also a thing that we probably need to do.
Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
Yes, it's well known that the tip of the battery turns grey when it's dead. I hope that I'm putting these in the right way round. I assume the game is nice and will just do that for me. Can I put the screw back in or not? Maybe not. Maybe I have to fix it first. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Ren says my car's tape deck ate a few tapes back in the day. Okay, do I need to put... Oops, do I need to put the... Yeah, maybe I need to put that back here, then get the tape. Ah, okay. Right, yeah, now I can do the thing with the pencil and the... There we go, okay.
How did you do that? I didn't see.
I did the thing! Anyone who's ever owned a tape player knows how to do the thing.
Will you dream a dream for me? If I sit by your side and hold you so tight.
Looks like there's still a screw
Know
missing.
that I will always love you. Even though we both know that we must say goodnight.
Okay.
Good
I
night,
didn't see
my
the
darling.
screws in the little pot. There we go. I have fixed the cassette recorder. By which I mean I changed the batteries and rewound the tape.
When it finished, Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing? They're very good.
It's my mum. She's not
Oh.
here anymore.
Izzy trailed off. It was the
I'm
kind of
sorry,
silence a cassette
Izzy.
tape would never be enough to fill. When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo.
Sorry, I don't accept buttons.
I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt. She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it
Yes,
all,
poor
part of
Izzy.
her life had been shattered. A part I wouldn't be able to fix.
Well, no, not with the screwdriver anyway.
My first
Now,
repair
Ren, we would
complete,
not be so mean.
I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square. I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit. The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach. Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its flaking paintwork and chipped tiles. The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father. I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle
don't
up
worry
properly.
about it.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him. It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with
I
Isabel.
see,
and-
we are fixing the
Do you think you can salvage it?
Honestly, from what I've seen so far, it seems like there are more things broken in this town than just objects. I think some of them might benefit from a therapist more than a repair person, but we'll do what we can. Ren says, does anyone remember the guy on the internet who was trying to, through a series of trades, buy a house for a paperclip? I do remember that, Ren. That was a long time ago. That was, what, 20 years? 25 years ago? They did succeed, if I recall correctly. Not because anyone legitimately wanted to trade them a house. It was more just the publicity. Their story kind of went viral in the days when going viral was still a new thing. So I think they did eventually end up trading for a house. Okay, time to fix statue.
Will you
We
be able
have
to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks.
It has several parts of statue. Okay, I can only pick up one part at a time. I guess I need to apply glue to this part. I has applied glue. Additional glue. Oops. That bit goes on there.
Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together?
Only one way to find out. Yeah, that bit and that bit. And then that bit.
Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label.
I think a lot of people should come with warning labels. Emma should definitely come with a warning label. Warning! Emma may at any point run off and look at flowers unexpectedly. Please keep an eye on your Emma at all times. Please ensure that your Emma is cozy and warm and has adequate puzzle games to play. Please keep your Emma in a dry place, out of direct sunlight and out of the reach of children. There we go, I fixed it. Wentworth porcelain, wow, okay, it is actually quite valuable then.
Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something of myself. He didn't have time for anything less.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it. So he was Bellariva's mayor. And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
Hello, Alhuno. Hope you are doing okay. Very good to see you. Sorry, just going to tab out to give hug to Alhuno. There we go.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival. There's only a few days to go. Looks like I'll be working late. Again.
Emma can relate.
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy, to avoid talking about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening. Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted. I just hoped he was finding enough time for Izzy, too.
Yes, me too. Alhuno says back started hurting again. Oh, that is a shame, Alhuno. Get some rest. Hope it gets better soon. Ah, a phone. Rotary phone.
My second day in Bellariva dawned bright and clear. Another beautiful sunny morning. Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees. I stopped, breathing in the smell of roasted coffee beans and freshly baked pastries.
That sounds good.
I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me.
Hello, Maria? Were you here yesterday handing out flyers? I have a job for you.
It has pentagonal earring.
Her place was petite, tucked between its competitors as if hoping they wouldn't notice. Judging by the empty tables inside, though, her potential customers hadn't noticed it either.
It's a bit slow today, but we're just getting started. I'm sure it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted, she walked over to the counter and returned with an old rotary phone.
At least I've got plenty of time to practice my recipe for the festival. It's a new special I've been working on. I was hoping to call my sister for some, seasoning tips, but it won't connect. Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong?
You see, back in the old days, you had these things called landlines, right? Where you had a phone, but it was plugged into the wall. And back in the really, really
Obviously,
old days,
we'd normally be much busier than this.
you had a little dial like this to dial your number on.
You can fix it, can't you? I can't afford to replace it.
Well, we shall see. I'm sure we can. This circuit board looks a bit broken, I'll be honest with you. Fortunate that we happen to have a working one for this exact model of phone right here. But yes, things were a lot more modular back then, so maybe that's not that implausible.
Looks like this new circuit board is all hooked up.
It certainly wouldn't have LEDs that were on when the phone wasn't plugged into the wall. Battery technology was not great back then. This bell also looks a little busted, so let's do something about that. Let's reload. Okay. Now we just reverse the process, hopefully.
There's still a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
Yeah, I keep unscrewing the screws instead of screwing them in. Do I need to put the headset on before I screw it? I don't think I do, right? Because I I took it off before I unscrewed it, but maybe it wants me to do it in that order. Okay. Yeah, why do you... Why are you not screwing the screws back in? Okay, there we
Looks
go.
like there's still a screw missing.
There's not still a screw missing, okay? Give me a moment. There. Wait, why do I still have 2 screws? Oh, there were screws there. Oh, Emma is bad at this game, clearly. Okay, I have to take these ones out again. I mean, this is how you
Still a
get
part I
spare
need to
screws
attach.
as a repair person. You just neglect to put some back in. Yeah, I didn't put this screw back in. Oops. In. There we go. Oh, I'm sure I screwed this bell on, but apparently I didn't. There we go. Right. Let's try that again. I guess this is what Sour Stars means about the controls being slightly awkward. Also, maybe my face cam is not in the best position for this game. Because there is a little pot of screws up there.
There's still a part I need to
which
attach. Where is it
You
go?
can't actually see because my face cam is in the way. There's also a cup of coffee. Okay, the cup of coffee is the pause menu. I was hoping to actually drink the coffee, but apparently that's not an option. It is just the pause menu. Okay. Put headset back on. The screwdriver is a bit disobedient, says Ren. I mean, that is realistic.
When I
I
handed
think
the
you'll
phone
find
back
that
to
real
Carmen,
screwdrivers
she
also
seemed
disobedient.
almost reluctant to take it from me.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go. It'll be ringing off the hook in no time.
That's if I can pay my phone bill, anyway. And the rent, and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat and I'll be right with you. Your coffee's on the house.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone.
Hello? How's my favourite sister doing today?
As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like a call for some cooking advice.
Favourite sister implies the existence of other less favourable sisters.
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
I could almost feel the eye roll at the other end of the line.
Bombastic side-eye.
You don't need to be here, though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
Sorry about that. My sister's decided to fly in for a visit. Oh god, I have to get ready.
Oh no.
Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?
Not unexpected visits from family members. That's the last thing anyone wants. Aha, camera. Before we had smartphones, you see, we had these things called cameras. And they used this stuff called film. And after
The
you'd
next day,
taken
I'd
24
promised Carmen I'd
pictures, you had
return
to
to
put
help her
another
get
one
the
in.
cafe ready for her sister's arrival. I was about to set out when I received an unexpected call from my hotel's reception desk. Apparently, another guest had asked for me by name. Curious, I took the creaking elevator up to the top floor and made my way to the room number they'd given. I knocked.
Are you here about the camera? It's about time.
All right, Helena. Chill out.
The woman in front of me was immaculate. Not a hair out of place or a crease to be seen.
My sister tells me you know how to fix things. I'd usually go to an expert, of course, but in this town...
Excuse me, I am an expert.
So this was Carmen's sister? The two of them couldn't have been more different. Inside her room, I saw a beautiful reflex camera, any professional photographer's dream.
The viewfinder is completely dark. I can't see anything through it at all. I assume you can figure out what's wrong?
Yes, probably. Hopefully you haven't just left the lens couple. And camera. Yoink. Need to remove some screws, I think. Boop. 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 And boop. Okay. Yeah.
I don't suppose you've fixed anything this valuable before.
It's fine. This looks a bit broken. Good news is I have a non-broken
If I
one.
use the screwdriver, I could adjust the angle of the mirror.
Ah, yes, because it's single lens reflex. So called because you have this arrangement with a mirror such that you can look through the lens with the viewfinder, and then the mirror, when you press the shutter, the mirror flips out the way and exposes the film. Also known as SLR. These days it's called DSLR, for digital single lens reflex, but of course it wasn't digital back then. So I need to yoink the mirror like that. It looks about
Perfect. Now the viewfinder should be working.
right. Yes. I hope so too. Probably need to put the film in as well, that would help.
Looks like something is still missing.
Well, I haven't put the back on. One thing at a time. There we go. Film, says Ren. Yes, indeed, film. 35mm film.
I felt a pang of envy as I handed the camera to Helena. I put my disposable to shame.
Don't worry, okay? In 30 years, you'll have a smartphone with a camera that takes better photos than that one.
I picked it up on my first trip to Paris. It's a 1958 limited edition, the first of its kind. It cost me 3 months' salary, but it was worth it.
I had no idea what 3 months' salary meant to Helena, but I was pretty sure it was more than I could afford. It was strange, really, that we were even staying in the same hotel. I'd picked this place because it was cheap and cheerful, but surely she could afford somewhere better? She took some test shots, fiddling with the camera settings until she was absolutely satisfied.
This work is immaculate. At least there's one person in this town who knows
I
what
mean, I
they're
only
doing.
replaced the mirror.
Sending you to me might be the first thing Carmen's actually gotten right.
I wondered why Helena had bothered coming if she thought so little of her sister.
I'm thinking the same thing.
I hear nothing from her for weeks, and then when she finally does call me, all she wants is money. If she thinks I'm lending her another penny, she'll have to convince me it's not a total waste of time.
That didn't sound good. If Hurricane Helena was about to hit, I hoped Carmen was ready.
Oh, is this like a neon sign we're fixing now?
The sun was setting over Bellariva by the time I reached Carmen's cafe. From the outside, it looked as quiet as ever, but inside, I found Carmen cleaning like her life depended on it.
Maria! Oh, don't mind all of this. If Helena finds one speck of dust in here, I'll never hear the end of it.
Carmen seemed pleased to see me, but I sensed the fidgeting tension beneath each sweep of her mop. Trying to live up to the standards of someone like Helena seemed like an impossible task.
Let me maybe put my face cam here. Sorry to move it around. I'm trying to have it so we can see the writing.
I hope you didn't mind
Alright,
fixing
now
the
there's writing
camera
on
for
this
her.
side.
She
Well,
was furious when it broke. I really need this to go well. If she doesn't lend me the money, I don't know how long I can keep this place going.
Carmen led me to a back room, where she'd laid out the components of what looked like a neon sign.
I had this made when I first opened the cafe, but I'm hopeless with electronics.
Ren says, turns out we can blow glass too. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the sign, but I don't think the old neon signs had much in the way of electronics. It was basically...
So there was supposed to be a sign outside. This might explain the lack of customers.
Basically, apply electrical current to glass tube. Possibly with a timer to flash it on and off.
I'd like to put it up before Helena gets here. Can you give it a try?
I shall give it a try. Okay, we have this has a button on it. We have bits of sign, and we have wires, and we have glue, and we have coffee. Yum, 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 yum. Ren says, do you know I've actually replaced a ballast for a fluorescent light fixture? Yes, so fluorescent tubes and neon are not exactly the same thing, but it's the same general principle, which is you have a gas-filled tube and you pass electric current through it and it glows. I also have, although I've actually gone one step further now, so in my garage I did have a fluorescent tube. When I bought the house, it came with that, but I don't like fluorescent lighting, it gives me a headache. And so when it started to flicker, I got rid of it, and what you can buy now is you can buy LED fluorescent tubes. So the lights are LEDs, but they're packaged in a tube that's the exact size and shape of an old fluorescent tube. So you can just take the tube out, put the LED one in, and it will just work. You don't have to replace the actual fixture. But yes, so fluorescent tubes, they need a kick to get them started. The current needed to start it up is higher than what's needed to sustain it. So you have a little thing with the capacitor in that fires when you turn it on. But of course the LED tube doesn't need that. So you have to take the ballast out and you have to put in basically a little plastic thing that just shorts the wires together to complete the circuit so that the LED tube works. None of that was actually like, you know, there's not really any maintenance required. You just take a tube out, put a new tube in. But yeah, the LED ones are quite good because they don't give me a headache. I think it was designed for like warehouses and stuff where they want to sort of replace everything with LED without the hassle of having to put up new fixtures. Anyway, what are we doing with this? Why do we have glue for a neon sign? Oh, do we have to glue it to this back plate? That's probably what we're doing. Ah, I see. Okay. So if I apply glue to this side, I don't know how neat you have to be with this. And then this needs to be the other way up. Okay, let's just put that face down on the table covered in glue. I'm sure that won't cause a problem. Does this need to go on this side? No, okay. Where do we need to put the wires also? I see a wire hole here. I don't see any other wire holes. We've got 3 wires to work with. This must have wires on the back, I guess. Okay, first of all I'm going to take these screws out, because usually taking screws out is a good way to make progress. A wire. Wait, come here. I probably don't want to take that out, right? That one's probably okay how it is. Okay, I think I see where this other bit goes. I think it goes here. There we go. And then it shows through the little hole in that plate. So we probably want to go from here to here. Yeah. And then... now there is power.
I think the whole thing is supposed to light up.
Yes, I know. I haven't put the writings in yet. One step at a time. I can put this back on now, can't I? Okay. Because I see some holes. So does this just fit in the holes now? Okay, that just fits in the holes. There we go. Right. Moment of truth. Yay! Works.
I don't know, it's a bit flat. Maybe if it flashes, it'll really catch people's eye.
Great idea.
Maybe.
I think I have a spare part that could do that.
Ah, the timer. I was just saying that sometimes the neon lights had a timer in them. Probably a 555. That was the old school timing circuit. Interestingly that you only mentioned that now. Okay, so we just stick it in series with the lights and it works. Oops, come here. You need to go on there. Oh, do I need to glue it on? Maybe I need to glue it. This is not the usual method of mounting circuit boards in things, but I think it's what the game wants me to do. So... let's go ahead and wood glue our circuit board into this plastic case, because apparently that's the correct answer. And then hopefully there's an appropriate series resistor in this as well, and the whole thing doesn't just fry when we plug it in. Oops. Ben says, I got a breadboard CPU construction kit from Ben Eater on YouTube, and it uses a 555 to CPU clock. Yes, that is the traditional integrated circuit timing chip. It can do pretty much anything from like nanoseconds up to minutes, I think. Very versatile. Right, let's give this another go. Aha! Flashing.
It still needs something else. Maybe we can add one of these.
Damn it. See, in the IT industry, this is what we call the client changing their requirements mid-development, which is very common and will cost you extra. We do expect to adhere to the spec we were given at the start. Okay. Oh, this is just another light. Makes sense. I'm sure sticking glue over the wire hole is not going to cause any problems. Right, that now needs to be in series with the others. And oops. And we can stick one of them on the front. So we have an ice cream, a cocktail, or a pizza. I mean, last time I checked, they served coffee and pastries, which means none of these symbols are particularly appropriate. Let's go with the ice cream.
It works. I'll screw everything together again and you'll be set.
Harry says you are charging by the second, right? I mean, at work we tend to round up to the nearest hour. I don't know how it works in the repair business. Neon sign feature
The sign
creep.
fixed,
Exactly.
we headed outside and mounted it carefully over the cafe door.
That's perfect, Maria. It looks just how I imagined it. When I had this sign made, it all seemed so simple. Oh, I can't believe I might have to give it all up. I hope I've done enough.
I'm sure you
The
have.
smile froze on her face as she spotted something over my shoulder. I turned to see.
Uh-oh.
Of course, my sister owns the only cafe in this entire town that isn't actually open.
For better or worse, Helena had arrived.
Ren says the illustration showed the ice cream cone. I wonder if that changes depending on what you pick. That would be a nice little feature if it does.
Carmen opened her mouth to explain, but Helena swept indifferently past her. Finally pausing in the doorway, she turned back towards Carmen.
The first thing we're doing is getting rid of that hideous sign.
No, I like it.
And with that, she disappeared inside. I hoped Carmen's chances of saving the cafe hadn't disappeared with her.
Ah. A legally distinct Game Boy.
It was the day before the festival, and the whole town was busy getting ready. I had more work than I knew what to do with. When Joseph called with another job, I was craving the cool quiet of his and Izzy's seafront
Well,
house.
not quite the same. The Game Boy doesn't flip open like that.
I'd barely reached their front door when I heard someone calling me.
Psst. Maria, I need your help. Quickly, it's top secret.
Ren says even many neon signs are LEDs now. Oh yeah, the modern stuff is all just LEDs.
It was Izzy, peeking out from the side of the house. She beckoned for me to follow her.
Cheaper and also more energy efficient. So, yeah.
She led me through to a beautiful, unruly garden overflowing with flowers of every color. Nestled among them was a playhouse, its doorway almost completely obscured by a towering rose bush.
You have to squeeze past it and breathe in real small, like this.
Izzy took in a big gulp of air and crawled through the gap and into the playhouse. I hadn't planned on crawling in the dirt today, but the life of a repairwoman never did run smooth. On the table inside, there was an electronic toy. Not exactly the usual stock in my parents' antique shop.
I had an accident. I didn't do it on purpose or anything, but it won't turn on anymore. Can you fix it for me?
Izzy, you broke it. Ah. What game do you have? Yokoi Pop and Play Forest Adventure. Very nice. A classic, that one. I think you broke the screen. I think you broke the A button as well. Izzy, have you been button mashing? Okay, how does this thing work? Well, we have... That just pops off. And then... we have some wires. Does that also pop off? Yep. Ah, okay. So we have bad sound chip, cracked screen, and broken A button. All in all, not looking good. Let's detach the wires. That out. New one in. Good that I have spare parts for Legally Distinct Game Boy just hanging around. That's very good. Interesting that you can apparently wire the graphics chip up to the speaker and the sound chip up to the screen. I do wonder what that would do. How do we get the A button out? We have to take this whole board off to do that. Ah, we do. Okay. We've broken an A button. One new A button. Oh, we probably have to do the same thing to the screen, don't we? Oops, no, I want to rotate it. There we go. Okay. New screen. I mean, I basically have enough parts here to make an entire new one of these. I could really just give Izzy a new one. Okay. Is that all the chips? Yeah, okay. So, that goes to... oops. Come here. Need to see all the wire holes. That goes in there, and then that connects to sound. That is the backlight. That's the display. Wait, no, I've done that wrong. That goes there. Goes there. Okay.
Nothing. Maybe there's an issue with the battery.
Oh, battery will be that bit. Yeah, probably just need to actually, you know, put the battery on. Yokoi, Pop and Play. Perfect. Probably need to put the game in, don't we?
Do grown-ups play games as well?
Sometimes. Hello, Eltibago. Thank you so much for redeeming Winter Heliotrope as your flower of the day. Winter Heliotrope, a winter flowering plant. It's actually in flower right now. However, although it is quite often planted in gardens to provide colour during the winter, I really don't recommend doing so because it spreads very, very aggressively, and it's almost impossible to get rid of once it's established. And it tends to just ruin everything, and it really takes over. So I do not recommend, but it is a plant. Okay, I've wired up the graphics and the sound the wrong way around. Let's see what happens.
That's not what the game looked like before. Is it broken again?
Interesting. It appears to be like drawing the sound wave, which is not how that would work, but I like that they put in a case for when you do miswire it. Let's do that again, but properly. There we go. Had to be done. Much better. Okay. Game. Okay. Up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. I guess A, because there aren't any other buttons.
Can you show me how to play? I tried before, but it was so hard.
I was just trying to get you infinite lives, Izzy, but I don't think it worked. Eltibago says I did an oops nap. I'm sorry to hear about your oops nap. I do hope that everything is okay and that you are at least somewhat rested. Smash her high score, says Harry. This game doesn't seem to have a score. Hang on. You have to press A to take a photo of a bird. And then you win. A fairly simple game, but then it has only got one button. If they just added a B button, you could do so much more.
Her toy fixed, I watched Izzy retreat into its screen, taking refuge in a 3-inch world of her own.
Now, you see, Eltibago, that's exactly what happened. You weren't here when we started, but Izzy had broken the A button. So, no doubt they'd been frantically button mashing in some game or another. Yokamon Snap. Yes, legally distinct, of course.
Well, I'd better head inside. Your dad is waiting for me.
Please don't tell him about the game. He'll think I broke it on purpose.
Why would he think that?
Because, well, I kind of dropped it really hard at the wall.
Don't drop things at the wall. Doesn't end well.
Izzy looked down, scuffing her shoes on the worn floor of the playhouse.
My dad said I have to go to this stupid festival tomorrow and put on a stupid dress, and I don't want to. All he cares about is working. He never wants to see me unless it's for his job. I'm not going. He can't make me.
I agree. Nobody should have to wear a stupid dress unless they want to.
With that, Izzy dove back through the rosebush and disappeared into the wilds of the garden. She was so young. She couldn't be expected to see that her dad was struggling too.
Eltibago says, I was looking at a similar game to this the other day that's still in beta. Has an official Atari license too. Ooh, that's good.
It made me think. Had I really tried hard enough to understand my parents' point of view?
Hello, Ellis.
Hi.
Hi.
I was so
Thank you.
focused on the adventures ahead of me. Maybe I didn't care enough about leaving them behind.
Ellis, thank you so much for redeeming Rhododendron as your flower of the day. I hope you are well. We are playing Assemble with Care, cosy little story game with a bit of puzzling in it, where we have to repair various objects that will be familiar to you if your birth year starts with a 19. Okay, a watch. An analog watch, no less. Do you know Gen Alpha don't know how to read
Leaving
things,
Izzy hiding in the garden, I walked around to the front of the house and rang the doorbell. It was only then I noticed. My favorite overalls covered in grass stains. I scrubbed desperately,
no.
but it was too late.
Maria, what are you doing? What happened to your clothes?
I was, repairing a lawnmower.
How unusual. Well, do come in. The job I've got for you is a little more delicate.
Why is it unusual to repair a lawnmower? They are
Totally
machines that break.
embarrassed, I walked into an orderly room filled with papers and ledgers. So this was his office. You must be so busy getting ready for the festival. Are you looking forward to it?
Of course. It's traditional for the mayor to judge food from every cafe and restaurant in town.
I see.
I'll be declaring the best chef in Bella Riva by this time tomorrow. Speaking of which,
He unclipped the watch from his wrist and very carefully handed it to me.
I'll have a tight schedule to follow, but my watch stopped working a while ago. Could you see if you can make it tick again?
And it says, yes, I was born in the millennium with all the cool old stuff. Okay. An watch. Presumably broken.
Are you sure it will all fit back together?
I mean, certainly the same screwdriver that works on Game Boys and rotary dial phones is not going to work on a watch. These have very, very small screws and very, very small parts, but I'm sure the game is accounting for that. Also, the watch says "Love Always" on the back, which is sweet. Yeah. Gears. This is the movement. So you have a balance wheel, which is the one that looks like it's got little legs sticking out rather than just a cog. That's what causes it to tick rather than just running continuously. There should also be a mainspring.
The main plate has completely cracked. I'll need to replace it.
Oh, right. Well, that's not a good start. Yes.
Cogs look good, though.
There should be one of
Careful, you
these.
can reuse those.
Although it shouldn't actually be moving while none of the other parts are in there. Yeah, this spring is the part that actually provides the force to drive the watch. Just go ahead and put the gears back in. So that one did not go there. That one went there. Do we have to unscrew these from their respective... Oh, we can just unclip them. Okay. Do that. So that one went there. There we go. Wait. Oh, and then there's one on this side. Okay, that makes sense. How do I get that one in then? How does that work? Oh, do I have to put this through first? I forget the name of this. This is the little pin that the hands rest on. Yeah, there we go. Then that goes through. No jewels in a geared watch, says T-Bago. I know, it must be a very cheap one, right? Yeah, so this game is not depicting traditional wristwatch mechanism accurately. This part here, the balance wheel, should be wobbling back and forth like that. The rest of the gears should be stationary, except for ticking. They should be going tick, 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 like that. They shouldn't be rotating continuously. This this watch would be running much too quickly and would also entirely unwind itself within a few minutes. Which is not how watches work. But let's pretend we didn't notice that. Okay, that needs to go back in there. And then put the back on. And oh, the crystal is also correct. I did not notice that. Damn it. How do we get the crystal out? Oh, the screws on the inside. Right, yes. I think on a real watch, these are usually just press fit. I could be wrong, though. Okay. Is that going to come out now? Yes. Okay. New crystal.
I've not gone a day without this watch since my wife gave it to me.
Well, that is very sweet of you. Technically, this is not how you assemble a watch. You put the hands onto the mechanism first, and then you put the mechanism in the case. You don't put the hands in and like that. There's nothing to attach the hands to the mechanism. That's not how watches work. But never mind. I realise it is simplified for gameplay purposes. I also realise I didn't screw the the new crystal in. Normally either press fit or held in with a bezel. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Like that, and then that, and then that, and then put all the screws back in. Okay. Is it running? Yes. It's running much too fast. If you just count 5 seconds to yourself. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's running at least 50% too fast. Just letting you know. Here you go. Izzy says the ticking is correct, but the hand speed isn't. Yeah, exactly. Clearly I must have put 2 of the gears in backwards or something. Oh well.
As I handed the watch back to Joseph, my fingers traced over the engraving.
It's fine, he didn't notice.
I hoped fixing this was one small way I could help him move forward.
That explains the owner's frantic energy, says Ray. Well, maybe he just has it as a sentimental thing. He doesn't actually use it to tell the time. Ooh! A raid! Hello, the wolf and the kid. Welcome in, thank you for raiding. Welcome to Cyclophilin, who says Best Gertchie hello, as well as all of your other viewers. I don't believe I'm following you, Wolf and the Kid. Let me do that right now. There we go. I am now following. Hello to Kid Cody, who says, hello, I am 50% of the Wolf and the Kid. And there's another person in chat called Vash the Wolf. Are you the other 50% of the Wolf and the Kid? If so, welcome to both of you. And I guess I should really be following your individual accounts as well. Let me do that quickly. Thank you so much for bringing your friends here. I do recognise you, Cyclophilin. Good to see you. For those of you joining me for the first time, hello, my name's Emma. I'm here every Sunday, usually every Friday.
Thank you. My wife was a brilliant woman. Feeling this ticking on my wrist, it makes me feel like she's still here.
And I mostly play puzzle games, especially at the moment, these sort of cosy, more story-based puzzle games like this one. This is Assemble with Care, a game about fixing things.
Watches measure minutes and hours like they're infinite. I didn't know we had so little time. Even with Isabel, I barely see her. And when I do, she acts like she hates me.
Well, that's a very deep quote. Nailed it, says Vash. Well, that's very good to hear. Do let me know, Vash, what you were streaming and whether it was a success. Cyclofin says, how's this been? It's been on my wish list for a minute. Very cozy. Nice story. Proper voice acting, which is fairly unusual for a puzzle game. The controls are a little bit janky. One of my community members, Sarah with Stars, has also played this game and also echoed my... well, she said the mouse control's a bit janky. It might be better with a controller, I guess. I haven't tried it. But I've been getting on fine with it.
Just then, the phone rang. Even when he was at home, his work was never done.
Sorry, Maria. I have to take this.
And I do like tinkering with things as well. So it's a game sort of after my own heart, I think. And it means I pick up on inaccuracies in it as well. Which I really shouldn't do. Kid Cody and Vash
As
say... Ooh.
I turned and saw him pacing the floor of his office, his watch glinting in the afternoon sun.
We played some Night and Bikes, a cute little co-op game. That sounds amazing.
I hoped its quiet ticking would at least bring him some peace during the busy days to come.
Yes, I do love co-op streamers. We have a few in our community. Technically I have done a co-op game on stream because I did Ibn Ob with Sarah with Stars. I should do more of those though. Definitely should do more. Okay, watch is fixed. Let's see what's up next. Ooh, is that a slide projector? Yes, we've been taking a trip through.
When my last job of the day brought me to Carmen's apartment, the door was opened by someone I didn't expect to see, Helena.
A trip through 20th century technology here. Yes, you should, says Sarah with Stars. And Ren says, ooh, linear, not carousel. Yes, I mean, to give this game credit, they have done a decent job of modelling these old school electronics.
Sorry for inflicting this mess on you. Carmen's never seen a knick-knack she doesn't want to buy, apparently.
Carmen's apartment was a little chaotic, but totally charming. It was easy to imagine her living in a place like this.
Yes, that makes sense.
It definitely wasn't Helena's style. She seemed more upmarket than flea market. I wondered why she was even here.
We're having a clear out, or at least I am. Carmen's not helping.
Ah, so you're selling Carmen's stuff
There's a
without her
market at the
permission,
festival
huh?
tomorrow. I'm selling some of these things to make her some money.
No, don't sell her stuffs.
She says she has nothing when there's all this stuff right under her nose.
Helena stepped delicately past the items on the floor and reached down to pick up one from the pile.
Look at this slide projector. Our parents treasured it, but Carmen treats it like a piece of junk. Can you take a look?
I shall certainly take a look. Okay, we have an projector. I mean, I guess it doesn't work. I mean, it hasn't got any slides in it. Start by disassembling it, usually the way to go. Oops, come here. Buddy brand, apparently. More screws, okay.
Oh, typical. Carmen's even managed to get a slide stuck
Oh, there
in
is
here.
a slide in there. Okay. Okay. The bulb's gone. That would do it.
That light bulb is
Certainly.
completely smashed. Okay, I'll need to redirect the light to the lens at the top for the projector to work.
Warning, beware electricity. Damn it, I can't open the magic electricity box. Okay. Oh, these are the mirrors. So wait, it had no mirrors in and the bulb was smashed. Yeah, it was definitely never going to work then. So, wait, what does it have? I guess you screw these. Why does it have 3 mirrors? That's not how... Why would you not just have the light here and the battery there? This is just adding unnecessary mirrors. Wait, no, hang on. Where's the... No, the lens is there. Oh, it has to go up and then across. Okay. So, yeah, this one needs to be horizontally mounted. Like that. But that's still an unnecessary mirror. You could just have the light here. Never mind. Okay. Do we need to put another... Yeah, we need to put another mirror in here. There we go. Okay. Get the picture lined up. There we go. Picture!
I was so excited when I moved to the city. Carmen, she looks so sad.
Do not the magic electricity box, says Altibago. Ah,
Here's
slides.
the clicker you'll need to attach. God knows how Carmen broke that as well.
Oh, thank you. That is indeed an clicker. Oops. Can I screw these back on now? Oh yeah, because the clicker goes there. So I can screw the screws back in.
There's still a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
Yes, I know. It goes there. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Mostly. Also, you wouldn't usually do this while it was switched on, but it does make an interesting shadow. Okay. We have an clicker.
When we were
Okay,
younger,
mechanism is
Carmen
working.
was always following me around. I suppose she looked up to me. A cool older sister.
Sorry, just trying to get a better look at the picture. Aha. It a Carmen.
She used to ask me when I was coming home, but I was always too busy.
Helena was transfixed, staring at the 2 young sisters the projector had brought glaringly into focus.
I never meant to let her down.
But you haven't, have you? You came all this way just to help with the cafe, plus the money.
That's the problem. There is no money. I lost my job a few months ago. My savings are almost gone. I have nothing.
Why don't you sell that camera that cost 3 months' salary then?
Carmen thinks I'll throw my checkbook at her bad decisions and make them okay. But I can't. Not this time. You know, the funny thing is, I came here wanting to tell her the truth. But she's so infuriating. How can I ask her for help when all she cares about is herself?
I'm not sure that's entirely true.
Helena fell silent, shrinking under the gaze of her younger self, projected onto the wall.
We drifted so far apart when I moved away. It felt like the only thing keeping us together was my bank balance. I know I have to tell her the truth. It isn't fair. But I already lost everything else. What if I lose her too?
As I say, I think the people of this town need therapy rather than electronics repair person, but I'll do what I can. Okay, we have portable gas stove.
The day of the festival finally came, and after all my hard work, I was ready to put down my tools and pick up a fork. The smell as I entered the main square was incredible. Each stall was selling food even more delicious than the last. The competition would start any minute. Most stall holders were waiting anxiously for the mayor to pay them a visit. All of them, that was, except Carmen, who was still frantically chopping vegetables and stirring pots.
Maria! Thank God you're here. Can I ask you the world's biggest favour?
Let me guess, I need to repair something.
Helena was supposed to help me run the stall today, but she
no,
never
we've got to
turned
run
up.
the stall.
Probably too ashamed to show her face. I can't believe she lied to me.
Carmen was stirring so furiously she was in danger of tipping the pot over altogether.
The mayor will be here any minute for the judging, but I'm almost out of my special.
She wasn't really going to ask me, was she? Not on my day off.
I have a stove ready to build and everything. Can you set it up and make me a spare batch?
I see. Ah. Carmen's wild veggie soup.
Oh,
Ingredients.
her recipe is a bit smudged. Never mind, I'm sure whatever I put in will be fine.
1 pint of stock. 1/4 stick of bleh. Half a carrot. 2 broccoli florets. Handful of chopped tomatoes. 3 wild mushrooms and plenty of bleh. It does sound delicious, I have to say. Charge double, says Harry. There had better be some free food out of this. Okay, we have and stove. Let's just set the whole thing on fire and explode. I honestly don't know how these fit together, but I'm sure with a bit of trial and error we can figure it out. Also, yeah, we can apparently just start light matches on fire and just sort of wave them around. Don't burn the paper. Am I going to burn my hand if I hold this for too long? Ren says, as someone who buys carrots, half a carrot is widely variable. I agree, Ren. Also, how many... Oh, okay. The graphic caps out at 3. Oh no, it doesn't. There's 4. I'm wondering how many discarded matches you can make a pile of here. Seems like 5 might be the limit. Okay. It was worth a try. Right, what do we actually have here? These go on the bottom, don't they? Or don't they? happens if I set fire to the broth? What happens if I put coffee in the in the special? Half a claret and plenty of liquor. That does actually look like it says plenty of liquor, doesn't it? That would certainly help, but I don't appear to have been given any alcohol. Right, let's actually try and assemble this thing. Is it this piece that goes on here? Or not? I'm just referring to this diagram. Looks like it's this piece. Ah, there we go. That makes sense. Right, and then these hold up the pot. Yeah, the controls are a bit janky, but that's okay. Manipulating a 3D item is never.
It all fits. Now to light the gas.
Okay, let me just leave it like this for a while. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Okay. Yeah. Gas is lit. Pot is placed. Now, how to open broth? Ah, there we go. Finally. Okay. Broth acquired. 1/4 stick of matches. No. Can I chuck some of these leaves in for good measure? No. Okay. That's all right then.
I think that pot is really boiling now. Smells great if I say so myself.
Yes, but I didn't get to put the forbidden
Here are the
ingredients
ingredients
in.
that Carmen's given me. What to add first?
Uh-huh. Well, I guess that was the 1 pint of stock. 1/4 stick of butter, probably. Half a carrot. The top half, with the leaves still on, obviously. 2 broccoli florets. A handful of chopped tomatoes. I don't know how big your hands are, but I can probably hold about 3 of these.
That looks good. I'll scoop a spoonful when I'm ready to serve.
I haven't put any onions in yet. 3 wild mushrooms. And I'm going to stick a few of these in as well, because why would they have given me them if I didn't put them in? Yeah. There. Yum. 4 seasoned soup.
My part done, Carmen took over and added the finishing touches. It was just in time, as a moment later, Joseph arrived with Izzy in tow. Carmen anxiously handed them both a serving.
That was so tasty. Can I have some more, please?
No, I want it all.
Well, you've certainly earned yourself a loyal customer in my daughter. We have a few more meals to taste, but so far you are one of the best. Good luck.
Joseph and Izzy looked so happy together. Maybe the festival was doing them some good after all. Carmen, on the other hand, seemed annoyed. But why, when it had all gone so well?
I wish Helena was here to see this. She's so convinced I'll never succeed at anything.
We all know Izzy is the real judge, says Ren.
She wants what's best for you. She's just not very tactful about it.
Yes, I know. Even when I was a kid, she pushed me when no one else did. I just wish she hadn't lied to me. But then, I've asked so much of her over the years. I never stopped to think how much she actually had to give.
Okay. Ooh, record player. Proper old school electronics.
The festival finished. I only had one day left before I had to catch my train and leave Bella Riva behind. I couldn't go without saying goodbye to Carmen. So, that evening, I made my way to the cafe.
Of course she
It was
won.
unrecognizable. She'd done it. Best food in Bella Riva. Half the town was outside waiting to see what the fuss was about.
Maria! My favorite sous chef. Come on through.
It was Carmen, acting every inch the successful cafe owner she deserved to be. Even Helena was there, serving the coffees. This was the last place
see.
I expected to see her after yesterday's
Well,
drama.
she did say she needed a job, so there we go.
Carmen led me through to a balcony upstairs, where she brought out an old record player.
I found out where Helena was on the day of the festival.
It keeps running my 33 1/3 records at 45, says Ren.
She was selling her camera to clear the cafe's debts.
Ha!
But then she didn't
Told
have
her
much
to
left for
do so.
herself. So, I've asked her to come and stay with me for a while. We have a lot of catching up to do. I wanted to give her this, to cheer her up. We listened to it all the time when we were kids. Do you think it has one last tune in it?
I'm sure we can fix it. We have 2 wires, what more do you
let's
need?
see what happens when we turn this on. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring. The speaker isn't connected properly.
I
should
know,
check
I'm
the
just
wiring.
doing what Ren said and running it at 45.
The speaker isn't connected.
This also doesn't work because
Check
the
the
speed
wiring.
isn't changing when I press it.
The speaker
Okay.
isn't
Yeah, I
connected
know the
properly.
speaker isn't connected
I should check
properly.
the
You can
wiring.
shut up now. Right. 1 record.
Here's the problem. This wiring isn't connected properly.
A good old drive belts. Right, yeah, that should be connected to there. Because that's the noise. Yeah, see, I told you. Look, I told you the speed control isn't connected to anything. Okay. That's the
If I turn the
audio.
volume up, I should be able to hear it now.
So yeah, this is the pickup. So the sound wave comes out of the pickup, passes through the volume knob, which was just a potentiometer in the old days, and then goes to the speaker. We definitely need to connect the speed control though. Where does that go? Maybe we have to. We probably have to reassemble it, hear it at the wrong speed, and then be told, "Hey, you need to fix the speed control." So let's do that.
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
What? Yes, it is.
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
Yeah, it's playing at the wrong speed. The speaker's connected, otherwise there wouldn't be any sound. Okay. What do you want then? Oh, right, yes, here we are. This is the speed controller. Yeah, so the speed control,
speed
I
dial
didn't see the,
connected.
yeah,
Now
I
we
didn't
should be
see
able to change
the input to the motor on that side. There we go. Now it'll play at the right speed.
I think that should do it. This record should play beautifully.
You say that, but I'm going to whack it up to 78, and this is definitely not a 78.
It's spinning the wrong way. How can I get it to must be to do with the motor. Let's see if one of
Playing
these-
backwards! We're going to hear demonic messages. Wait, surely I don't need a whole new motor just because it's backwards? That doesn't make any sense. Surely there's just the polarity of something's wrong somewhere. Why do I need to replace the motor? Because it's back. That doesn't make any sense. They don't make special backwards motors for listening to demonic messages. Okay, also, why do I have two to choose from? This is a U57B6, this is a U5715, and this is a U57W0. Sure. Well, it says 7W0, so let's put the wrong one in. No, okay, we'll put the right one in. I am curious what the green one is going to do, though. Like, surely the options are forward or backwards. Does the green one spin sideways? Okay. Yoink. Yoink. And yoink.
Well, it's playing in the right direction. I should check it's turning
What
at
will
the correct
remain of
speed.
these days? The sweetest words I've ever heard. What will remain of the smiles? The ones
Okay, I think we can infer this is a 45.
My heart that day.
Put some Led Zeppelin on, or that Beatles record that says Paul is dead when played backwards. Ren says it's because European power flows the other way. No, it doesn't. Just because we have the
record
correct
player's
voltage.
crackling tune must have caught Helena's ear as she appeared a few moments later.
Is that my old record player? I can't believe you've kept it all these years, Carmen.
Leaning over the music, they looked just like the young sisters the slide projector had preserved all these years, inseparable once again.
Harry says green equals the player spins instead of the disc. That would be interesting.
Carmen told me about your camera. That was a really generous thing to do.
I loved that camera, but I love my sister more. Now it's her time to be the person she wants to be. I'm going to stay here with her for a while. Make up for lost
Aw.
time.
Carmen and Helena's relationship wasn't suddenly going to be perfect, but they were both prepared to try. And to think, it had all started because of a call Carmen made about some seasoning tips. I guess in the end, maybe it wasn't so hard to just pick up the phone and dial. I hadn't spoken to my own parents in a year. I wanted to hear their voices more than anything.
Ren says, have you seen those little truck-style record players that roll over the record with the stylus? I have. Don't use them on records you care about because they will absolutely ruin them. Because on a normal record player, the stylus is effectively floating over the record. It's not supposed to scrape against it, whereas the truck ones, the weight is on the record. So, yeah, the sound quality isn't great and it ruins the record, but it does work, yes. So that literally is, as Harry says, the record stays still and the player spins.
But the silence between us was so cavernous.
That is very true. Thank you for reminding me of
I didn't know
those.
how I'd ever find the words to bridge it. Okay.
Ooh. I'm not sure what this is, but it looks fancy.
My final morning in Bellariva, I received one last call out to Joseph and Izzy's house. I knew I had to pack, but I figured I could squeeze in one final job before I had to leave. When I arrived, I found Joseph tidying up his wilderness of a garden. The playhouse was already
but I
cleared.
liked all the flowers.
Inside, I could see Izzy happily testing out her screw-driving skills on the back of her cassette deck.
You've made quite the impression. Izzy, tells me she's going to be a repairwoman like Maria.
I'm sure she could be anything she wanted if she put her mind to it.
She could be anything she wanted, even a penguin.
She could. She's a brilliant child. Spending the day with her at the festival, I haven't had so much fun in ages. I wanted to give her something before she starts to forget.
Inside, the house was transformed, flooded with light and the sounds of the garden. It felt alive.
Cute little repair penguin.
This
Exactly.
would be my last
exactly.
repair in Bellariva, but it felt like it was the house that had really been restored.
It's a music box.
Ah,
It
music
used
box.
to play beautifully, but now when I wind it up, nothing happens.
Emma has legitimately repaired a music box before. Just a plastic one. Which I had when I was a child, and then my parents saved it to give to their grandchildren. But my sister turned the plastic thing too hard and snapped it. So I bought a radiator bleed key because it was the perfect size to fit the thing on the music box, and it was metal, not plastic, so it wouldn't snap. So I have legitimately fixed a music box, although it was a lot less ornate
I'd
than
love
this
for
one.
Izzy to hear it sing again. Can you help?
It was one of those ones where you had a thing that looked like a cassette. It was made to look like a cassette player, and you put the cassette in, but the cassette wasn't a real cassette. It had like a disc with notches on it, and then it played a music box when it spun round. I think the original they had like 3 generations of the model. The original toy was a toy record player, and the record had bumps on it to operate the music box. Then they made a cassette version, and then later on in the 90s they made a CD version, which was back to the record player design with a disc, but obviously updated to look like a CD player. I'm guessing they don't sell them anymore because there isn't really anything that spins in an MP3 player. Not that people even have MP3 players anymore. I'm showing my age because I still remember when an MP3 player was a separate device rather than just listening to music on your phone. Okay. What can we do with music box? We has key. Place key in keyhole. Opens box. Screws. Let's unscrew the screws. We has frame. We has picture,
Maria,
which has seen
could
better
you
days.
add this family picture of us?
Ah, and picture. Very nice. I shall add the picture. But first, I should fix music box. How is it held in? Are there screws? Ah, that comes out. Good to know. Ah, screws. That's where they were hiding. This is a very ornate music box. Never seen one like this in real life. LT Bago says they still have them. They now look like record players, and the different discs have RFID chips in them that tell the MP3 inside what MP3 player inside what song to play. That's very much another level of technology. No, the one I had, it wasn't electronic at all. It was just you wound it up and it had a spring and then it span and played a music box. And yeah, the cassette one had like an eject button that like flipped a thing open. Yes, I'm sure there's a much more technologically advanced one now. Okay, what is wrong with mechanism? Okay. Also, let's put this in while we're here. Can I put this in yet or not? I want to put this in. Okay, I guess I can't put that in. We have... what exactly is this? Oh, it's a bird? A bird. Right, good. Good to know.
This mechanism is completely broken. I'll need to take it all apart before I can fix it.
Oh. I was hoping I was going to be able to take it apart, but apparently the game did that for me. Oh well. Okay. This is the actual music wheel thing. Interesting, I apparently have in my toolbox a spare music wheel of exactly the same song, but there we go. Yeah, so as this rotates, the little bumps trigger these, which are the actual notes. That gear is busted. Replace it. Oh, and these two gears are missing altogether. Is that right? No, that's not going to... Those don't actually connect. Those connect. Okay, that should work. Can I test it now? Aha. I fixed it.
Perfect. The mechanism is good as new.
Okay. That in there. Gotta put the base back on now. Still not sure what this thing is for. Oops. Wait. Oh, hang on. This is a different thing. Oh, is this supposed to... That's supposed to be in there. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it's supposed to pop up that little thing when the music box spins. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Am I going to be allowed to put the photo in yet? Or do I have to put the frame on and then the photo? No? Oh, I need to glue. Okay, I need to glue the photo. Good old stick everything to everything glue that I conveniently carry around. There we go. This in. Go.
I think that's everything back together again.
My wife
Yes,
should
look,
play it
little
to me.
bird
song to Izzy
flies.
each
Oh,
night
that's so
before bed.
cute.
but I always work too late to join them. Will you dream a dream for me if I sit by your side and hold you so tight? Know that I will always love you, even though we both know that we must say goodnight.
Yay.
I've missed so much already. I want to be the father my wife wanted me to be. I've ended up so much like my own father, working all the time. Izzy needs me more than that, especially now it's just the two of us. My daughter comes first. Well, until she gets bored of her stuffy old dad anyway.
I'll never ever get bored of you, Dad.
Izzy
Yay!
came running into the room where Joseph scooped her up and onto his shoulders.
I guess we didn't just fix their electronics, we also fixed their relationship.
She gazed at the music box, her eyes shining. I'd never seen her look so happy.
Thank you, Maria, for everything. The things you fixed for me, I'm so glad to have them back.
Joseph was a good father, and I could tell he was
Eat dog
determined to be an even
Viola
better
canina.
one. When it came down to it, that was all any of us wanted. A second chance to make something right. My time in Bellariva was almost over, but before I left, I knew there was something of my own I needed to fix.
Uh-huh. What do we need to fix of our own? Ah, the suitcase. Okay. LT Bago, thank you for redeeming the botany. I think because we've almost finished the game, I'll finish it off. This is only a short one. And then I'll do the botany segment at the end. I don't have anything else planned for today, so it will be a short stream, but that's fine. Let me fix my suitcase, and then we shall look up Heath Dog Violet.
My time in Bellariva was almost at an end. Another chapter finished in a story whose ending I hadn't felt ready to write. The people I'd met, the items I'd restored, they'd taught me so much about what was really important.
Yes, it's very important to not play your records backwards at the wrong speed.
Pulling out my suitcase from beneath the bed, I remembered the day I stole it from my parents' shop. The day I left.
Stole it?
Afterwards, I was too ashamed to call them, to apologize. It was a guilt I'd been carrying around every day since. As I packed, I knew that it was up to me to find a way to lighten the load.
Packing time. At least the suitcase isn't broken, I guess. I mean, the lock mechanism could break in theory. Aha, and train ticket. A dinosaur? Headphones. History of Watches by Abigail Floors.
Joseph's idea of light reading for the train. It does look thorough.
I see. Oops. Damn it.
My
Okay, I
parents
have to
would
put
love
everything in the right place,
Maybe
otherwise
I
it
can
resets.
convince them to make the trip.
The still smudged recipe for wild veggie soup.
The recipe for Carmen's special. I'm under strict instructions to guard it with my life.
Okay then.
Helena gave me these designer shirts. Not sure I'll pull them off as well as she does. My train ticket. Can't believe it's time to leave Bellariva behind.
That looks very much like a British Rail ticket.
Izzy gave me this in exchange for my repair manual. She'll be a pro in no time.
Well, yes, but when you need to repair something for a customer and all you have is a plastic dinosaur, that's not going to help.
The soundtrack to my travels. I'll be listening to this on the journey.
Okay. It's not like A Little to the Left where there's a bit of ambiguity about where things go. You're just
My
picking.
suitcase was full, but it was my heart that felt heavy as I made my way to the station. I was sorry to be leaving Bellariva behind, but I hoped that Helena and Carmen's reunion was possible because they'd learned to overcome their differences.
Ren says it was claimed by fearful parents that hidden backwards messages in music were somehow processed by the unconscious mind. I'm not aware of any research confirming this, and it seems far-fetched. Yes, but parents also claimed that rock music, dancing, tabletop role-playing games, video games, movies, comic books, social media, and pretty much everything else is corrupting the youth of today, and has been corrupting the youth of today for so long that they're not the youth of today anymore. They're the elderly of today, because people were complaining about this shit in the 50s. Yes, your children's mind is not being corrupted by backwards playing music. They're being corrupted by 6, 7 and AI brain rot. There's no need to play anything backwards.
Joseph had realized he shouldn't let his grief or his work get in the way of his relationship with Izzy.
El Tibago says I was corrupted by all of the above. Hail Satan.
They'd each learned to see things from someone else's perspective. Maybe it was time I saw things through my parents' eyes.
Maybe. But they should also let you leave.
I knew it would be easier to jump on the next train, put even more distance between us, but I finally felt ready to talk to them. I just didn't know if they would feel the same.
Oh no, Alex has also been corrupted.
Did I even remember their number? I wasn't sure until I reached for the phone and it all came flooding back.
Okay.
Mom? Dad?
Maria? Is that you?
Okay, there we go. A short but cozy game. That was fun. Alternatively, she could repair her parents' eyes. Interesting, the credits are not auto-scrolling, you have to actually click through them, which is nice. It was very good to have a puzzle game with proper voice acting. Quite rare for games of this sort. Looks like there is one extra bonus chapter, which we shall also play, of course. El Tibago says, I did DM you the Steam link to that other game if you wanted to take a look. Which game was that? Oh, the other electronics repair game. Yes, I will definitely have a look at that, El Tibago. Looks like it's in playtesting and it's releasing sometime this year, so that is definitely a potential future stream game. Okay, looks like we need to fix a coffee machine. No problem.
Dear Maria, Carmen here. Sorry I haven't written. The cafe's been absolutely manic since you left. Luckily, I have Helena here to help. You wouldn't recognise her. She's like a new woman.
I mean, she still seems to be wearing the same outfit, so she's not that new.
She's always running round, taking orders and making drinks. I even heard her compliment a customer on their outfit. Personally, I draw the line at fluorescent green bowling shirts, but each to their own. It certainly made the customer smile.
Fluorescent green bowling shirts, huh?
She misses the city, though. Bellariva's many things, but it's definitely not as chic as she'd like. She said there was a coffee shop near her old apartment where they made coffee with a shape drawn on top.
Ah, yes, latte art.
It got me thinking, I'm an award-winning chef. I can figure out how to put a leaf on a cappuccino. A bit of cosmopolitan coffee might be just what Helena needs. Of course, ordering a new coffee machine was the easy part. I wish you could have seen the mess I got into trying to put the thing together.
Okay. We are not ourselves the repair person. We are Carmen, trying to fix something. And coffee machine. And circuit board that for some reason
I saw
doesn't
Maria
come...
use her screwdriver a million times. Taking this apart will be easy.
Yeah, don't these things usually come pre-assembled? Taking it, I mean, she's right. Taking things apart is easy. The difficult part is usually putting them back together again afterwards. That's what separates a repair person from somebody who's just destroying something. Ooh.
These pipes look pretty simple. I should start with them.
Yeah, you probably want to have it switched off. You probably don't want steam spraying out everywhere while you're trying to assemble it. Just a suggestion. Okay. Does this board go in the bottom? Yeah, okay. So then we have... Oh, we have 2 more screws. That bit off. Yeah, look, this needs wiring as well. Okay, so...
Maybe I should focus on the pipes first. They look easy.
No, I'm going to focus on this first. Coffee goes to coffee, which is that one. That's the spray steamy thing. I don't know, I'm not really an expert in drinks machines. It goes there. Power goes to power. Somehow the light is on already, even though I haven't connected the power wire, which is interesting. Okay, and then they need to go around the back. So...
Maybe I should focus on the pipes
No,
first.
I'm not focusing on
They
the
look
pipes
easy.
first. So... Cup goes to 2, power goes to 1, and then we just need to match that up on the back. Which is going to end up like that. Okay, we can put that bit back on. Good night, bestest Al who know. Hope you sleep well. Perfect for repairing it during the winter. Yeah, I don't really want steam burns even during the winter. Okay, let's get these pipes working. That's not going to work because
Maria was
that's
here.
pointing
She'd
the
know how
wrong
to put
way.
these pipes
So we need
together.
to use that one. There we go. That one also pointing the right way. And then I guess that needs to connect to that. interesting. Oh, we also need to connect there, don't we? We need to figure out where this piece goes before we put the rest of the pipes in. Is the game going to be helpful and just tell me where it goes? Yes. Okay. Right, so we need to hook those two together, but also have the steam going through there, like that. And then we need to connect this to this, which means that and that.
Finally, no more steam.
Okay, I think I did it right. Time to nom some cookie rather than coffee. I suppose I can't be having a cup of coffee on the pause menu because I haven't assembled the coffee machine yet. It does make sense that they've given you a cookie instead. El Tibago says to Alhuno, "You're cute when you're sleeping." Wait, that sounded creepier than I meant, or did it? El Tibago, please no be creepy to my friends. Okay, how does this work now? That goes on there. This is where you actually put the cups of coffee. And then this goes on the top. Hopefully we have used all the screws. I think we have. Hooray!
I think that's everything. Better test the buttons, just to make sure. All done. Piece of cake. Time to make my first coffee, I think.
Aha! We get to actually do the thing with the thing. So you take this... We've skipped the bit where you take the beans, roast them, grind them, pack them into this puck, tamp them down with a little thingy. And then you stick that on there. Then you put the water in, and it filters through the puck and makes coffee.
Smells delicious.
Yes, and then
now to make it look magical.
You use this to make steam, like if you're doing a DJ set in your spare time as a barista, you can use that as a smoke machine. Yes, appropriate emote you have there, Harry. Also, we have to put the milk in. Right, do we have to make the coffee art now? Ah, we do. Okay. Interesting. What shall I make with the art? Let's make a spiral, like a snail.
A perfect coffee. All it needs is a saucer and a couple of Helena's favourite biscuits.
A saucer and a couple of Helena's favourite biscuits. Quick, let me nom those biscuits. Nom. I like how it lets you choose your own design.
I was feeling more
for the,
has-been than coffee queen by the time I'd made a drink fit for human consumption. It looked a bit, postmodern, but knowing Helena's refined tastes, I hoped she'd think it was intentional. Always the connoisseur, she didn't even bother to look at it at first. She was so busy wafting it under her nose. Steamed up her glasses, of course. How was she going to see my work of art through an eye full of fog? When she finally spotted it, though, she was
I
totally
only did a
impressed.
spiral.
I'll admit, she spent several minutes trying to figure out exactly what it was I'd
It was
drawn.
very obviously
She
not a
decided
horse.
It was probably a horse. Well, what she doesn't know won't hurt her. She was impressed enough to ask for another one. I guess I'll need to get some practice in. The whole thing was such hard work, Maria. I never realised how difficult it was, all that mechanical stuff. It made me realise how much I have to thank you for, so I wanted to say that now. Better latte than never. Hoping you're well. Your friend.
Did you just make a pun? You just made a pun, didn't you? Okay, I think that is actually the end of the game now. Yes. I'm intrigued to know if we actually got all the achievements. Let me just check. We did get all the achievements. Okay, yes. There was just one achievement for every chapter. Not any hidden ones like clicking on certain things or anything. So, we are done with that game. Before I end the stream, we do have one more order of business, which is LT Bago's Flower of the Day request. Let me just, can I get this to... No, okay. I don't think I can get this to play its music in the background while I do the botany. But that's okay. Also, achievements doesn't actually do anything, it just opens the Steam achievements. So, let us do some botany. Let me also do some stretches. A reminder that proper hydration and stretching is important for everybody, not just streamers. Normally this would be my mid-stream break, but as I say, I don't have another game planned for today, so I'll just do the botany and then we can raid out. Oh, I can get a bit of an earlier night tonight. Still need to stretch though. So LT Bago has requested, what was it, Heath Violet? Yes, Heath Dog Violet. Most violets are, unsurprisingly, violet in colour. And Heath Violet's no exception, although they are a little bit paler than most. Common Dog Violet and Early Dog Violet are both quite a deep purple colour. Heath Violet is more sort of pale bluish violet colour. Just looking for a good photo. The other common one, Common Dog Violet is the most common, and Early Dog Violet is the second most common violet that you'll see. And they're both quite dark purple. The third most common is probably Sweet Violet. Sweet Violet is actually white sometimes. It can be purple, but sometimes it's white. So if you see a white flower that looks like a violet, it's almost certainly Sweet Violet. This is Heath Violet, or Heath Dog Violet. It is a subspecies of common. So the Latin name that LT Bago's put there, Viola canina, that's Dog Violet. So there are several subspecies of that. There's Common Dog Violet, Early Dog Violet, Heath Dog Violet, and so on. Canina being Latin for dog, of course, as in canine. Wiki has almost nothing to say about this one. They don't even have a picture, just a drawing. They probably have more of an article about dog violets in general. Yes. But yeah, you're right. This one, I mean, to be honest, a lot of the Wikipedia articles, because all the images on Wikipedia have to be like non-copyright, unless somebody has actually gone out and taken a photo of the plant, what they tend to use is illustrations from old, out of copyright botany books. And yeah, in this case, that's what they've done with this article. Someone's found a book from 1853 that had a painting of one. But yes, it does have Common Dog Violet. It does have an actual photo of that. Common Dog Violet is apparently the county flower of Lincolnshire. I did not know that. Apparently, until 2002, Lincolnshire didn't have a county flower. And they decided to have a poll on which flower, and they chose dog violet. So there we go. Let me just quickly get my books. Okay. If I remember correctly, the way you distinguish between common and early dog violet, early dog violet does flower earlier in the year. It can flower as early as late February, but usually by early March it's out. Whereas common dog violet is late March or April. But you can see them both out at the same time. So the way you distinguish them then is... let's see if I can find a photo that shows the right angle of it. The flowers of this type of plant, so not just violets, but other things like pansies and vetches and peas and so on. They all have a very similar structure. Hello, Rooney. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Rooney, do let me know what you were up to. I hope you had a successful stream. We are just doing our botany segment. We're learning about dog violets. We did play a game today. It was called Assemble with Care. It was a very cozy little puzzle game about fixing broken electronics. But we have finished the game. It was just a short one. So we're doing our botany now, and then I'll be heading out. Welcome in to Wurzelpunfoot, Hurricane, Harry, Rooney, Fireball, and all your other viewers. Hurricane, thank you for redeeming Bell Heather as your flower of the day. Everybody, please go check out Rooney. Rooney is awesome. Rooney is cozy. And I was lurking in Rooney's stream, so I really ought to participate in the raid here. There we go. Yes, so on the right we have a Heath Violet, which is the one that T-Bago requested. This one on the left is actually a common dog violet, but I'm illustrating the structure of the flower. You have these two pairs of petals. These two are called the standard. This one at the bottom is called the keel. And it's, as you can see, it's a different colour. So on this common dog violet, it's actually white in this photo. It's not always white, but in a common dog violet, this bottom petal is lighter than the rest of the petals. Whereas by contrast, in an early dog violet, it's darker. Let me see if I can find a good picture of an early dog violet that shows that feature. Yes, here we are. So this one is an early dog violet. So, I mean, okay, this one is slightly more open than this one, but they are very similar flowers in many respects. But the key is this is lighter than this, but this is darker than this. That's how you distinguish those two. Just for completeness, I shall bring up Sweet Violet. It's usually white, so that's what Sweet Violet looks like. But I'm just going to consult my book to remind me how to identify Heath Violet, because you don't really get Heath Violets in Somerset, so it's not one that I'm accustomed to identifying. Let's see. Violet, comma Heath. That is here. So yeah, common dog violet. The spur petal at the bottom, yeah. Yeah, obviously notched at the tip, whitish or pale bluish, but always paler than the petals. And then early Dog Violet, slimmer, notched at the top, and as dark as or darker than the petals. And then Heath Dog Violet, the flowers tend to be bluer. I mean, that doesn't really show up in this photo, but the flowers of Heath Violet tend to be bluer than the other violets. I mean, obviously these photos are taken in different places and they're not really calibrated. If I find... Yeah, this is a slightly blue one. This might be a more accurate representation of the colour of Heath Violet. So, yeah, slightly bluer than the others. May have a hint of purple. And the spur, the bottom petal, is creamy or even pale yellow. So again, you're looking at the spur to distinguish it. Have we got one with? Yeah, here we go. Look at this picture. So this bit at the back here, that's not part of the stem. That is actually a petal. But you see it's actually yellow on this flower, whereas this one on the left is a common dog violet and it's white. Also, the leaves are different shape in Heath Dog Violet. So most other violets have heart-shaped leaves. Common Dog Violet and Early Dog Violet can't really be distinguished by the leaves at all. They both have small heart-shaped triangular leaves. And so you have to rely on the colour of the petals. Just looking for a good photo of the leaves. Here we are, this shows the leaf. So these little heart-shaped triangular leaves, sweet violet leaves are also heart-shaped, but they're much bigger and they're not as pointed. The heart is more sort of a rounded sort of cardioid shape rather than the pointed heart. And they're like this sort of size. So they're 2 or 3 times bigger, the sweet violet leaves, than these ones. Heath Dog Violet, the leaves are not really heart-shaped, unlike almost all other violets. So it's you still kind of need to look at the flower because it's difficult to be certain from the leaves. But if I can find, has anyone actually photographed the leaves of Heath Dog Violet? Okay, yes, someone actually has. Here we go. Yeah, so they're not really heart-shaped because they don't have the bits at the stem. They don't like go back round on themselves like that. They kind of just stop at the stem, so they're still pointed, but they're not exactly heart-shaped. And so that's kind of violets for you. Let me look them up in my other book as well. Rooney, oh yes, that's right. You were playing Satisfactory, Rooney. Quite a bit of experimenting with tube transports in Satisfactory, and rebuilt the power and finished phase 2. Ah, yes, the tube transports are quite fun in Satisfactory. I won't give you any spoilers, but there are some quite fun things you can do with the tube transports. When Harry visited me, it was the year before last, actually, it was 2024. When Harry visited me, I got to play around with his Satisfactory save a few times, and he built something quite interesting with the tube transports on his world. Altibago says there are some recent records near you, but they may be on the outskirts out of your area of interest. Okay, I'll take a quick look at that when I've looked at this book. So we are looking for viola canina. Viola being Latin for violet. It's not just the name of a stringed instrument. That's going to be in the other book. Of course it's going to be in the other book. Nothing is ever easy. Harry says I'm waiting for him to do certain things with them before sharing some of my comments. Yes, that's it. That's why I'm not going to spoil anything. But yes, much fun can be had with the tube transports. Okay, violets. Sweet violet, hairy violet, dog violets. Here we go, Heath Dog Violet. So yeah, Heath Dog Violet definitely much less common than common or early Dog Violet. Common is the most common. Common is found absolutely everywhere in Britain and Ireland. Early Dog Violet isn't found in Scotland. It's found in England, Wales and Ireland, but not Scotland. I don't know why it's completely absent from Scotland. Maybe it just doesn't like the cold. But Heath Dog Violet is found throughout Britain and Ireland, but very, very scattered records. Has a much more specific habitat. Heath Dog Violet, a perennial herb of a variety of acid habitats, including heathland, sandy inland grassland, coastal sand dunes, stony riversides and lake shores, and occasionally drawdown zones in reservoirs. It can also occur on thin, heavily leached substrates overlying chalk and in fens. So yeah, much more specific than common dog violet, which is basically any shaded area. It mostly grows in woodland, but it will grow just in grassland if it's shady enough. I have some in my garden in a bit that never gets the sun, and they seem happy enough there. Heath Dog Violet has suffered a severe and continuing decline since the 1960s, mainly due to habitat loss, agricultural improvement and overgrazing. Hybridization with other violet species has also reduced its numbers in some areas. There are 2 subspecies of Heath Dog Violet, specifically Heath Dog Violet, not the other dog violets. There is a subspecies called Rupee, which is only found in 2 sites in East Anglia. It's very, very rare. It was more common like going back to the 19th century, but then it suffered extensive habitat destruction. And since 2000, it's been recorded in only 2 sites. Both national nature reserves in Huntingdonshire, which is in southeast England. In the past, it also occurred in Suffolk, Lincolnshire and Nottinghamshire, and possibly also Cambridgeshire. So yeah, it has that very, very rare subspecies as well, but even the main species is affected by habitat loss. Eltibagger mentions some records in North Somerset, and indeed there are records in North Somerset. I've never personally recorded it, but let's take a look. So first of all, I'll bring up common dog violet. That is found pretty much everywhere. Let's go to common to square. These areas where it's not shown is more likely to be lack of recording rather than it not being there. And then early dog violet. You've got similar distribution, but yeah, the distribution very much stops. You can almost draw a line across. No plants grow north of Newcastle, basically. And it does barely make it into Scotland here, but only like at the same latitude. There's nothing up here. So a little rarer than common, and then you have Heath Dog Violet. Heath Dog Violet. Much less common. Looks like its favourite area is here in Dorset / Hampshire. I'm not quite sure exactly where the border is. But this is the New Forest, so this area is protected. So you've got the New Forest, you've got this is all the big nature reserve as well. This is a national nature reserve in Poole Harbour. These are both protected areas, which is probably why it's still there. I suspect historically it was this common everywhere, and now its habitat has been destroyed. You basically have no lowland heath left. You have lots of upland heath in the country, in the mountainous areas, but all the lowland heath has been converted to farmland. So the habitat you have still in Poole Harbour Nature Reserve, you would formerly have had much more extensively across the country. Even on the Mendips, there was a small amount of such heathland. I mean, that's probably what these records are. There are some tiny, tiny nature reserves where that habitat still persists on the Mendips. So it makes sense that it is still found there. But I personally have never recorded it. Yeah, that is in Wiltshire there. So yeah, you've got the coastal, which makes sense. It does talk about growing on coastal sand dunes. So you've got it at Breen Sands and Breen Down. You've got it on the Mendips around Priddy, and near Bristol Airport as well, which is interesting. This is there's a wood here behind Bristol Airport, so it must be growing in there. But the only places it's been recorded since 2020 are Breen Sands, and this is Draycott Slates. This is also a nature reserve, so it's pretty much absent from anywhere that isn't a nature reserve. This is the problem with this kind of plant. Like, okay, yes, it's still here and it is protected in the areas where it grows, but before we started interfering with nature, it would have been this common everywhere. So there's a huge losses have taken place. And even like these other little places where it's found, if you look up these places, you'll see that they are also protected in some way. Like the Welsh coast here is protected. Perhaps not so much up here. Actually, no. This is a national park. The fens here is a national park as well. So yeah, most of these remaining areas are protected now, which is good, I suppose. But anyway, violets. So have some pretty purple flowers whilst I put my books back. Oh. And that concludes our botany for today, and it also concludes our stream for today. So thank you everybody for watching. That wasn't me, that was my keyboard. Thank you in particular to Rooney for that raid, to the Wolf and the Kid for the raid earlier, to Ellis for the resub, to Eltibago for redeeming the botany, and to everybody else for watching. Harry is... What are you uncertain about, Harry? No problem, Tibago, Alice, Alex, thank you so much. I'm going to look somebody to raid now. If anybody has suggestions for raid targets, do let me know. Let's see what's going on in the world of the Twitch. We have... Snail Sim Dev is doing a Snail Express. We could always go there. Liger Rhymes with Tiger. Oh, Liger Rhymes with Tiger is having their affiliate anniversary. We should go visit Liger while they're having their affiliate anniversary. That sounds like a good idea. Yes, let's do that. Friend of the community of Lana and others. Oh dear, I've got like 20 pictures of flowers open now. Thank you, Harry, for the best Emma. To which I say best Harry, and of course best Alice, best Alex, best Ellis, best Eltibago, best Rooney, best anyone else who's still watching. Yeah, we haven't been to Liger for a while, so this would be a good opportunity. Oh heck, I missed that it was their affiliate anniversary. No problem, Rooney. I suspect some of your viewers are still lurking, and so we will get them in there anyway. What are they up to? They're playing Words on stream. Probably they're in a break between something else, and they've just put Words on stream up, but that's fine. Let's do that raid. There we go. This channel has follower or subscriber only chat, and that'll be fine. I suspect quite a few people are following anyway, and if not, feel free to follow. I'm going to put a message in chat. If you are able to chat in Liger's chat, then please feel free to put this message if you are subscribed and have my emotes. If you're not, use any emotes you like. Use your own emotes or someone else's. However, if you would like a message to copy, here's one with some dancing dinosaurs. Please do, everybody, show your love to Liger, who is having their affiliate anniversary. I will be back at some point next week. It might be Friday or it might be Sunday again. We shall have to see how work goes for me. Either way, we'll be playing something new because we finished Assemble with Care. Probably another cozy puzzle game. I will let you know on Discord. So, until then, thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.